Im is about to send out the Knights of the Gods, and the ancient stars have all turned into monsters. Faced with the strongest force of the celestial dragons, Minjidi, the true strength of Dragon is still a mystery. Up until chapter 1090, Dragon has not seriously fought in the manga, but his actions have left many clues. Firstly, there is his formidable power. Sabo learned from Dragon and later used the technique called Dragon Claw Fist, which is a powerful physical technique. Sabo often enhances it with armament haki, further increasing its destructive power. As Dragon's mentor, his haki strength is definitely at a high level. During the Battle of Marineford, when Capone saw Luffy awaken his Conqueror's haki, he said, "As expected, it's innate." This implies that Luffy inherited an extraordinary bloodline. This Conqueror's haki aptitude is likely passed down from Dragon to Capone. With Dragon's current status as the world's most dangerous criminal, he definitely deserves the title of Conqueror's haki user. It is widely believed that Dragon is also a user of Conqueror's haki, but he has yet to demonstrate it. The importance of Conqueror's haki in this version doesn't need to be explained here. It can be said that only those with strong Conqueror's haki have the qualifications to reach the pinnacle stage. Even Luffy, who has awakened it, still needs to obediently follow his teacher's guidance. Dragon, even without any other abilities, is already strong enough with his Conqueror's haki and Dragon Claw Fist. Moreover, he actually possesses other powerful abilities. Regarding Dragon's Devil Fruit ability, there has been much discussion over the years. Currently, the manga has left some clues. Firstly, there are several key appearances of Dragon with strong winds. The first time was in Logetown when the weather changed after Luffy was tied to the execution platform by Buggy. Oda gave several close-ups of Nami, who had already sensed the change in weather. Later, we all know what happened. A thunderbolt struck Buggy directly, saving Luffy. Immediately after, the wind direction also changed to a west wind, providing a strong tailwind for Luffy and his crew, as if someone was helping them set sail. Later, when Luffy was captured by Smoker, Dragon appeared and saved him. There are many noteworthy details in this scene. Firstly, when Smoker was about to pick up his weapon, there was a very obvious gust of wind. Previously, when Smoker used his smoke ability to overpower Luffy, there was no wind. Dragon suddenly appeared and grabbed Smoker's weapon, completely catching him off guard. This sudden appearance in the wind sounds very much like the elemental transformation of a nature-based ability. Additionally, Dragon only grabbed the handle of the weapon, and Smoker's weapon has a seashell screw at the front end, which is not consistent with the characteristics of a Devil Fruit user. After intercepting Smoker, Dragon caused another gust of wind, directly dispersing the marine troops and sending Luffy away. In this scene, the Marines shouted, "Storm," indicating the power of this ability, but it is important to note that Dragon did not speak at this time. The storm was called out by the Marines. Another detail is that Dragon's right hand is not seen in this scene, but in the next scene, he extends his right hand to bid farewell to Luffy, as if his hand had just transformed into an element. The second key appearance was in Sabo's flashback. It is uncertain whether it was the day of the fire incident, but in the manga, it immediately depicts the strong wind blowing in the Goa Kingdom. Oda usually does not design meaningless scenes, and this close-up of the wind is seen in several subsequent scenes, clearly indicating that an unknown wind is coming. Then, during the fire that night, there was a shockwave accompanied by a strong gust of wind that created an escape route within the fire umbrella, leading to the main ship of the Revolutionary Army, the Wind Granma. Wind is also represented by Sabo. From the conversation between Ivankov and Dragon later on, it is clear that Dragon was the one who intervened in the rescue mission. There are also very obvious wind lines in the subsequent panels. The story is not over yet. The next day, Sabo was attacked by the celestial dragons while sailing. Just as he was about to drown, the dragon suddenly appeared again and saved Sabo, quickly returning to the ship. Pay attention, at this time, the dragon had a smoky effect on its body, very similar to the effect of elementalization and turning back into human form. The reactions of the people behind were also interesting. They seemed very surprised by the dragon's sudden appearance, except for Sabo's old friend, Ivankov, who still complained that the dragon was too slow to warm up and hinted that the dragon usually comes and goes without a trace and acts quickly, which also fits the characteristics of wind. This wind element can also explain another question: why can the Revolutionary Army quickly cross the Grand Line? For example, after the dragon saved Sabo, he quickly returned to the Revolutionary Army's headquarters, Baltigo, which is located on the Grand Line. According to the normal route, to enter the Grand Line, one must pass through the Reverse Mountain. Do not leave the Grand Line and must venture through the Calm Belt. Most ships in One Piece are sailboats that rely on wind power for navigation. So, once they enter the Calm Belt, it is a state of waiting for death. However, Dragon's ship skill can come from Baltigo to the East Blue quickly and return to Baltigo from the East Blue quickly. One possibility is that Doflamingo's ability to turn things into strings can directly slap the ship away. Another possibility is that Dragon's ability can generate strong winds and can manipulate the direction of the wind, allowing the ship to navigate normally in areas without wind, and even leap over the red line. The Revolutionary Army's headquarters, Baltigo, also has some details. This island is dangerous and covered with desert on the surface, with strong sandstorms and strong winds, which coincidentally fits Dragon's characteristics. Many fans have also noticed that most of the Revolutionary Army's executives wear glasses. This may be due to the habit of staying in Baltigo for a long time, or it may be used to maintain their vision when Dragon unleashes a storm. As for why Ivankov doesn't wear glasses, it's because his eyelashes are too long. To summarize these clues, Dragon's ability setting has a strong connection with wind, but there is currently no decisive basis to determine the details of the ability. It seems that Dragon is not a weather fruit, but rather a wind fruit that can influence the weather. Besides his strength, there are still many mysteries surrounding Dragon. There is the classic slipper mark on his face. What does it symbolize? Over the years, there have been various speculations, but no answer has been found. In chapter 1066, we see a young dragon with a special pattern tied to his leg, which is very similar to the tattoo on his face later. At that time, Dragon was not yet part of the Revolutionary Army but belonged to an organization called the Zhiyong Army. It may be a symbol of some kind of companion. Another thing worth noting is the Revolutionary Army's flag. In One Piece, flags usually represent the characteristics of the leader. The Straw Hat Pirate's flag is a straw hat skull, and the Red Hair Pirate's flag is 3 crossed swords. The Revolutionary Army's flag, with a skull that looks more like a dragon, and the words RA represent the abbreviation of the Revolutionary Army's English name. A pair of wings can represent freedom and is also a symbol of Western dragons. Dragon's name, Doragon, also means Western Dragon. In the past, in chapter 587, Dragon was wearing a t-shirt with a Western dragon printed on it. But interestingly, the Revolutionary Army's ship has decorations of an Eastern dragon. It's a combination of East and West. Could there be a hidden connection between the element of Dragon and Dragon himself? Let me fill in the gaps for you in the next day. So, the above is a simple speculation on the strength of Monkey D. Dragon in One Piece. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next issue.